Yeah, man, you know what it is. It's your boy Hugo the Savage back again for another movie review. Air! Directed by Ben Affleck, 2023 movie. Not long came out, but it's already on Amazon Prime. But I think it's an Amazon Prime movie, so it makes a lot of sense. Um, yeah, man, let's get into this. The movie is pretty simple. The synopsis is pretty basic. It's a biopic. It's directed by Ben Affleck. Um, it's a you call it a sports drama based on the real life events of Nike and the Jordan brand. The debut collaboration they made together, following the rookie years of Michael Jordan and him coming off his North Carolina stint, and the biggest brands in the world not fighting as such, but bidding for him as a sponsorship, as an athlete. The brands were included Converse, Adidas, and Nike, but Nike was at the bottom of the totem pole. You can imagine back then, I think it was around 84 times. Obviously, I wasn't born at that point, but I do recall from the Phil Knight book some of the circumstances that went into Nike being where it is today as the billion pound brand, one of the biggest, if not the biggest brand in the world. Swooshes everywhere. So it's a very, very interesting movie. If you're into biopics, if you're into history of big brands or things that have just always been a part of your life, but you've never really researched and how it got there, it's a great movie for that. For myself, I'm into those biopics a lot, so I was going to enjoy this as long as it was filmed right. From the trailer, when I did the reaction to the trailer, it looked decent. What I was worried about, there was so many stars in it. Ben Affleck, Jason Bateman, Matt Damon, Chris Tucker, just to say the least, and Viola Davis. And sometimes when they throw too many people in, it's hard for me to concentrate and take it serious. It's not probably not even their fault, but you know they changed the way they look. Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight in this movie, the CEO and the person who started Nike. So yeah, I know it's Nike. If you hear me say Nike a few times, I live in England and I'm indoctrinated into that. But I am aware that it's Nike. I know the whole history of it. I've studied this guy to the point of, yeah, it's ridiculous. But the movie itself, very good movie for me. Filmed beautifully. I love how it was filmed as a 80s movie with modern day cameras. There's a massive difference, and I think that might be my lane. What I'm a massive fan of, because even with like Cobra Kai and Stranger Things and stuff, and anything what's filmed for the 80s but is in modern day, it's like the perfect blend of both. And obviously they use filters and stuff to get through it, but I'm not too mad at that. But yeah, the movie's literally about the crafting of the perfect, the greatest sneaker of all time, which is the Air Jordan, the very first Jordan 1. And yeah, it follows it, man. And Nike at the time were a massive brand. They had just turned over 900 million, of their biggest revenue year. But compared to Adidas and Converse, Converse had the biggest basketball stars already, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, and then Adidas had everybody else. And obviously, we know about the history of Adidas and Puma. We don't have to get into that. You know what I mean? But we know. So it follows the story of I think his name's Sonny. I can't remember what his name is. Sonny Vaccaro, who is his job at Nike is to be is basically a talent scout. He's into basketball himself, and finding the next big star for the companies to take on. And it follows his story throughout there, the struggles he has in trying to get Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan's not interested in Nike at all. It's all about Adidas. Viola Davis plays Michael Jordan's mum in this. What they did incredible in this though is it's an Air Jordan. The movie is called Air. I would argue that Sonny's the main character of this whole movie in general. Obviously Ben Affleck plays Phil Knight, so he plays his part as well. They never, and I mean never, not once in this movie saw Michael Jordan's face. And it didn't feel weird. There's a certain circumstance that when I realised they weren't going to show his face, I was like, okay, is there any point in this movie where it's just going to look like you're trying to hide him and not the fact that you're just looking from a different perspective? But I'm into camera work and stuff now, and I realised pretty soon that once it got to the meetings of him and Nike and stuff like that, they're basically trying to give you the perspective at that point in the movie of being Michael Jordan and listening to these people pitch their life away to you to try and get you to cover their brand. And obviously in the end, we know the history of Jordan. It's still around today. He gets a percentage of every Jordan sold in the world. I don't know how much it is, but I'm guessing it's about 5-10%. It's probably about 5%, which is ridiculous. because I think they sell about 4 billion a year, and he's on a 400 million contract. So yeah, we can probably about 10%, but. Yeah, man. I think they did great with it, and it's weird to say because from the stature and just the back of the head of the person, he looked like young Jordan. They've done really well to make it look like that. Even Viola Davis as his mum, she played a massive part in this. The dad was great. Chris Tucker was great in this as well because I can't lie, Marlon Wayans was in this. Them two characters in particular, I know who they're playing, and did they do a good job at playing the person? I don't think so. Flipping planes have to go past when I'm doing this, innit? God damn. I don't think they played the person to a T. Because at the beginning it did feel like Chris Tucker as and Marlon Wayans as. So they added their little flavour to it. But once he got into it, there was a little bit more serious acting. And, you know, their roles wasn't massive in this. Marlon Wayans in particular. But Chris Tucker, he did his thing in this, man. And Ben Affleck directed a great movie. I'm not going to say it's a great directed movie only because it's a biopic and all of everything about it is already laid out for you in the book, in history. So you just got to copy that and make sure you get a great script and everyone follows it. But the acting was good in this, man. So I would give this movie out of 10 a 7 out of 10. It's a good movie. And you're always going to struggle with biopics to be incredible unless what they're depicting is an exciting thing. And it's exciting to a point, you know, tugs on the heartstrings a few times, but nothing major. Whereas if you're doing a biopic on like a drug lord or some guy who done some great stuff in the army or some revolutionary, then there's going to be way more exciting things going on because that's what they did. This is, at the end of the day, this is Brandon and Trainers. But let's not pretend like this. All the circumstances what led in this movie did revolutionise the world in some way, and you can't tell me otherwise. Because if you've not got Nikes in your house, your mum or dad's got Nikes on right now. And if they don't, your dog does. I've been your boy Savage. Comment, like, subscribe, and share. Let me know what you think in the comment section or if you watched the movie. Ren.